Alright, quick update on Solana. So we are still heading up to our target that we've been talking about for the past week or so. We are heading up to 112. You know, if you don't know where this 112 comes from, if you haven't watched my videos before, I've been talking about this 112 because this is the 618 Fibonacci retracement from the low of, not the bear market, but when the bull run started for Solana all the way to the all-time high. So in my opinion, this 618 at 112, $112, this is the most important target that we do need to get above. Now, personally, I do think Solana is very bullish, and I do think that we are going to smash this 112 target. And I am still buying Solana on spot position, but for me to want to leverage trade, for me to want to leverage long Solana, this 112 does need to break, because until we do break it, you know, it is somewhat iffy whether it is, you know, the right time to enter a leverage long on Solana. So obviously none of this is financial advice, this is just my own personal trading plan. If we do look at what's happening in the short term though, since, you know, our last video, we did come up, had a slight retracement, and now we are heading back up again. We've got a nice red green red formation, which if you don't know is a very bullish candlestick formation. From the low to the high, it seems like we came back, tested the 0.5. If I move this up to the candle body close, you can see, yeah, it's pretty much a perfect retest of the 0.5 and a push up. So yeah, I mean, everything looks pretty great for Solana. We never came back to the 618, which shows that in the short term we are very bullish. And you know, we've been talking about us having this massive explosion for Solana for quite a while now, because we have been outlining this triple bottom scenario for, you know, it must have been the past month or something now. I mean, we were somewhere around about here. Maybe it's been, you know, 2 or 3 weeks or so. It's definitely been 2 weeks, but we've been talking about this triple bottom formation playing out before it played out, and having a big rally, a break above the 618, and then, you know, big pushes up to the 200-day up here at 150, and then a big push up to the 618, 191, and then ultimately retesting the all-time high up here at 260. And then, you know, we can start talking about these crazy targets up here. First one being 369. Obviously that is a target for a different day. We are still focusing on, you know, whether we're able to break this 112, and in my opinion I think we are setting up for the break of the 112. Now on the daily, we are getting slightly overextended on the money flow indicator. It can definitely go higher. There is definitely more room to run up on the RSI, and if we do look at these on, you know, weekly time frames, there is a, you know, there is a very high chance that we are getting ready for a massive rip. So when we do start these big uptrends, I would be keeping an eye on, you know, how they perform on the weekly, because for example, if we flatten this data, what's really interesting, which makes me so bullish on Solana right now, if we look at where the RSI is right now and where the money flow indicator is, they are so low, meaning they've got so much room to go to the upside that Solana could literally have a massive tear, starting to create new all-time highs in the next coming months or so. And one of the major reasons why I think this is, if we look right here when the bull run started for Solana, look at where the RSI was. The bull run started at 50 RSI, and the bull run started here at 56 on the money flow indicator. Right now we're at 45 and 35 respectively. We're not even close to where the RSI and the MFI was on here. So what I see is a massive bull rally, a massive push down, a retest of the 786 showing us that the market structure is still bullish, and then a massive push up, and the MFI and the RSI have absolutely miles to run up. I mean, we're not even close to where we started this bull run in terms of the MFI and the RSI, which shows me that, you know, price targets of 369, 370, and then 540, 700, and so these are not off the question. These are definitely something that can happen, you know, this year, if not next year, in my opinion. Obviously these are not targets to keep your eyes out for in the next, you know, couple of weeks. If we do look here, you can see from the low, let's see how long this took us. So from the low all the way up to the all-time high, that was 15 bars worth of data, 105 days. So if we did make a basic extrapolation and presume this is where we've bottomed. Let's take it 105 days. 105 days would bring us into the 27th of June 2020, or 2022, sorry. So something like this, if I draw it up, do bear in mind I am an advocate of lengthened cycles, so I don't think that this would happen in 105 days, especially if we're going to talk about, you know, rips to targets up here like 700 and something. I imagine, you know, perhaps in this cycle it will take 150 days. Do bear in mind I'm pulling that out my ass. There's no real number to back you know, how many days this is, but I'm just kind of showing you that I do think that this is going to take longer than, you know, the initial 105 days that it took over here. So that's basically all I see for Solana. A little bit of a fresh macro perspective there looking on the weekly, but all in all, Solana looks great. I mean, there's no way that you can chop this to make it not look good. If we look at this on the weekly as well, we're finally getting a nice green candle come in, and we have never had a green candle come in on the Heikanashis since this downtrend. Do bear in mind, on the Heikanashis we do not include doji candles as green candles on the Heikanashi. This is just how I trade them. It's my own trading plan. If you want to learn how to use Heikanashis, click on my educational playlist. I have made a video on how to use Heikanashis if you want to learn, you know, what this all means. But when I trade Heikanashis, I don't trade red doji, or I don't trade based on doji patterns at all. You can see we had this massive run up, all of these green candles, and the only red candles we got in were dojis. On the flip side, when we had this massive downtrend filled with a sea of red, we had a few green doji candles, and once again, like I said, we don't count doji candles. If it's in a downtrend, just count a doji candle as another red candle. If we're in an uptrend, just count a doji candle as another green candle. And, you know, it looks like, obviously bear in mind, this is Saturday today, so we still do have until tomorrow to kind of figure out where this is going to close. But in my opinion, if this closes the way it is right now, then we have undisputably broken the downtrend for Solana, and we can, you know, 100%, not 100%, but we can be very certain that we are getting ready to smash this 112 and start putting in, you know, new all-time highs, and, you know, basically go on another massive bull run for Solana. So that's all I see. Looks very amazing. On the daily, it does look like we could maybe cool off a little bit on the RSI, for example, if we run up to past 112 and then take our time to reset the RSI, something like that. But it doesn't have to happen at all. We don't have to reset anything. We've been in a massive downtrend for a very long time, and the RSI and the MFI on the monthly are pretty flat, to be honest, and the weekly is very undersold. So in my opinion, massive rally is underway. We've been calling this since the triple bottom at $80, and yeah, I think we've got a lot more to come. So that's all I see for Solana. Best of luck if you are holding it, and yeah, once again, none of this is financial advice. It's just my opinion on the market, and you've always got to do what's best for you. Cowboy out. Peace.